Hello everyone and welcome to the 8th annual Prizm Art Fair. I'm your humble and gracious chef, Santana. Now, for those who do not know me, allow me to introduce myself and give you a little tidbit about my background. The type of food that I specialize in, I love to call it modern diasporic cuisine. Now, when you taste my food and even the recipe that I sent you guys for today, you will see that all these ingredients and a lot of my ingredients and recipes, they come from tidbits of Africa, the Caribbean, and the South where I'm from. And I put it all into my own point of view and I give it like a nice little modern twist with who I am. All right? Now, my love and my desire for art started around the same time that I decided to pursue culinary on a professional level. I was granted the opportunity to work at Table 1280. Now that's the restaurant that sits on the campus at the High Museum. I never forget, the first artist that I was introduced to was Radcliffe Bailey. I then went on to see works from Hale Woodruff, Thornton Dow, just to name a couple. These type of works inspired me to approach food through a different way. It inspired me so much that I decided to pack up my bags. I left Atlanta, Georgia, and I moved to New York to attend the Culinary Institute of America, where I was classically trained in French cuisine. I then went on to work for Marcus Samuelson, Danny Meyer, and then just been a part of that hustle and bustle and still my love for mixology and cocktails and drinks. I worked at some of the most thriving bars in New York City as well. Now, it came to a point where I really wanted to venture off on my own because I wanted an outlet where I could actually infuse the things that I love and put it out there to the world to see. I wanted to find a way, how can I intersect music, visual arts, food, and drinks all in one setting. Fast forward a little bit later, I find myself on the opening and founding team of the Collab, which is an art collective that features emerging artists from the diaspora, and we focus on cocktails, culinary, captivating conversation, and here I am today, your featured chef for Art Prizm today. All right, now, my love and my desire for art started around the same time that I decided to pursue culinary on a professional level. I was granted the opportunity to work at Table 1280. Now that's the restaurant that sits on the campus at the High Museum. I never forget, the first artist that I was introduced to was Radcliffe Bailey. I then went on to see works from Hale Woodruff, Thornton Dow, just to name a couple. These type of works inspired me to approach food through a different way. It inspired me so much that I decided to pack up my bags. I left Atlanta, Georgia, and I moved to New York to attend the Culinary Institute of America, where I was classically trained in French cuisine. I then went on to work for Marcus Samuelson, Danny Meyer, and then just been a part of that hustle and bustle and still my love for mixology and cocktails and drinks. I worked at some of the most thriving bars in New York City as well. Now, it came to a point where I really wanted to venture off on my own because I wanted an outlet where I could actually infuse the things that I love and put it out there to the world to see. I wanted to find a way, how can I intersect music, visual arts, food, and drinks all in one setting. Fast forward a little bit later, I find myself on the opening and founding team of the Collab, which is an art collective that features emerging artists from the diaspora, and we focus on cocktails, culinary, captivating conversation, and here I am today, your featured chef for Art Prizm today. Now let's take a look at this year's theme, Noir Noir. How it highlights and take a deep dive through the lens of our featured artists. And we get to experience their perspectives on how filmmakers from the diaspora, past and present, plays a heavily influence on art and the artists of the diaspora in modern day. Now, I'm going to take you through my journey as to how my food also revisits African traditions, past and present. Okay, so what do we have on the menu today? all of our prep is done, we can start the good stuff, which is cooking, okay? So we're gonna start with our curry black eyed peas. We have our black eyed peas that was already soaking overnight, so that's already drained. It's going to lessen the cook time already. So let's start with that, right? So we're gonna go with like a tablespoon of avocado oil, all right? I'm gonna turn the heat up on that. I'm just gonna let that get hot right there, okay? Now the reason, like if you look at the ingredient list, I say avocado oil is preferred. A lot of recipes call for olive oil. I really don't like cooking with olive oil because it's carcinogenic. That's the stuff that actually causes cancer, right? So olive oil is definitely a healthy oil to use, but you want to use it just for finishing or just use it for sauces or vinaigrettes and things like that, right? So the first thing we're going to do is just sweat the onions and the garlic here, right? And you want to salt everything as if it's its own dish. I like to cook with wood. It kind of reminds me and connects me to the earth. So that's what I do. So we get that going in there. We turn that heat down just a touch. You smell those aromas coming out of there. And then from there, I want to add my curry and start cooking that curry. So I can eyeball it, but you want to start off with a tablespoon. And you just stir that in. And you also want to leave a little bit of curry for the end so you can adjust the seasoning. And what's going to happen is we're going to cook all our food at the same time and everything is going to come up relatively around the same time as well. The black eyed peas is going to take a little bit longer, so that's why we're starting that first. We're going to follow through with the rice, the coconut rice, and then we're going to cook our chicken. All right. From there, I want to add my tomatoes. A little salt, just a pinch. Those in there. Then my drained black eyed peas. Then we're gonna add 4 cups of vegetable stock or water if you prefer. Now, this is all the prep work that I've done with all the scraps that I had from the vegetables that I was cutting up. And I made a nice, beautiful vegetable stock out of that. So that's good. We're gonna let those things just rock out for a little minute. Put a lid on that. Put that on the back burner. Let's start on this rice. This rice is already starting to come up. I'm just gonna turn the heat up on that a little bit. And I have my coconut rice here, ready to go. Now, the thing about rice, so I want everybody to get like a long grain rice. Depending on who taught you how to cook rice, I'm gonna leave you up there. Everybody knows how to cook rice, but I'm gonna leave you to this one little tidbit. So if you're doing long grain rice, for every cup of rice, you wanna use 2 cups of liquid, whether that's water, vegetable stock, chicken stock, coconut oil, coconut water. That's what we're doing, all right? So I'm just waiting for this to come to a boil right now. And then while I'm doing that, I have my chicken right here, ready to go. I want to bring my chicken out for like 30 minutes prior to actually cooking it because I wanted to come up to like room temperature so it can cook a little faster, a little evenly, and just cook all the way through, right? So this right here is already coming up to a boil. What I'm going to do is add my 1 cup of rice to that. Let me salt it first, just a little bit. Boom. Add my rice. Give that a stir, just one little stir just to break up all the rice, right? And then I'm gonna wait for that to come up to a boil. I have my oven already on 350, so we can start on the chicken. Again, we're gonna go with a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of avocado oil. Okay, my rice has come up to a rolling boil. I want to give that one more stir just to break that up, right? Then I'm going to turn that down to like a medium to a medium-low heat. Put a lid on that and just let it do its thing for about 20 to 23 minutes. Just keep your eye on that. That's going to be good. my chicken or my oil over here is starting to heat up. So we're gonna cook this chicken and we're gonna finish it off in the oven, okay? Okra, we can do the okra at the very, very last minute. It's only gonna take like 2 or 3 minutes just to cook that okra. So we're gonna do that at the very last minute. So let's go with this. Now I already salted it, so everything is all good in there. It's nice, beautiful marinade in there. And what I'm looking for right now is just I want to get a little bit of color on both sides, and then I'm going to stick that in the oven and just let it finish itself off. Now, as a little tidbit, if you want to, you can get these black-eyed peas started even an hour earlier because they're going to hold its flavor very well. It's going to take it long to cook. So the chicken is already cooking right here. We're getting the color on both sides. Now, again, with these black-eyed peas, they're going to take the longest to cook. So if you really want to, you can start those an hour or even 2 hours before ahead of time. So let's see where we are with this chicken right here. Like I said, I just want to get a nice color on the, oh yeah, exactly what I wanted to see in this cast on. Boom. Looking very nice. Aromatic. Every time I cook, so put a little rosemary in there on top. And a little garlic as well. And this will be ready to go in the oven. We're gonna let that rock in the oven. All right, so the rice is actually already done. That can stay back there with the lid on it. It kind of keeps its temperature. The chicken's been in here for a little while now, for like 23 minutes. We can take that out and let that rest because that is done. That chicken's done. So while that's resting, it's gonna rest for like 5 minutes. We're gonna take this time just to go ahead and cook our okra, right? So I already have the pan getting hot. And then we're gonna cook our okra while this chicken rests. And the thing about it is, this okra's gonna cook in like 2 minutes on each side. I wanna get the pan very hot, or semi-hot rather. And we'll just cook it one time on each side for like 3 minutes. All you need is salt and pepper. You can actually use the peri-peri sauce with this. So for tonight's menu, everything is already done. Hopefully you follow the recipes. If you cooking along with me, or if you're gonna do it later, I'm about to show you what this plate is actually gonna look like. So let's get plating, all right? So we're gonna start off with the rice. First thing I wanna do, I have my chopped cilantro. I wanna add that at the very end because I don't want the cilantro to turn black on me. I'm just gonna kind of incorporate that in there. Very beautiful. All right, we'll take our bowl, put some rice in there. Then we're gonna go ahead and go with our black-eyed peas. We're just gonna snip that straight in the middle. That's some of that good, get some of that good curry liquor in there too. So our chicken, I'm just gonna place that right there on top. Still resting while it's right. It's a little hot, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put my peri-peri sauce in a bowl, because the thing about this peri-peri sauce, it can be transferred to any part of the dish. It'll taste good on the rice, it'll taste good on the chicken, and it'll also taste good on the okra. All right, put that right here. Get one of these pieces of chicken out. I just want to slice this just so I can, you know, manage it better. We're just going to place that straight on top, just like that. We're going to take our peri-peri sauce, drizzle some of that on top. Keep that in there. That's what that looks like. We're going to put our okra in a separate pan. And this is really good. Like, we can actually put this, put that peri-peri sauce on there as well. Now, we all know that the peri-peri sauce, it comes from West Africa. It kind of been transpired all through the continent. And then you have coconut rice that hails in the Caribbean, and then black-eyed peas that hails in the South. Everybody has their own version of rice and peas. This meal right here, to me, demonstrates the perfect diaspora, right? You have your okra coming from West Africa and the South of America. And then your peri-peri sauce. Do whatever you want to it. It's just, eat it like that too. And we also have the delicious dessert that we made the night before. Let's go ahead and get that going. You can put that in a glass, a martini glass. I'm gonna use a martini glass first. Let's take our vanilla wafer. We're gonna layer it. We're gonna just put that in there like that. We'll layer our pudding in there. Our sweet potato pudding. Let's do another layer. Put some more on top. We have these gorgeous raisins that's been soaking in some nice spiced rum. Just gonna let that rock. Just put that on top a little bit. Completely optional. Everybody don't really rock with raisins like that. And then our whipped cream. And I told you, I actually handmade my whipped cream. I put a little bit of rum in there and brown sugar. And that's what we have right now. And I like raisins, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit more on there just for a garnish. Boom, straight like that. And this is our meal for the night. And there you have it, a clear demonstration of my point of view, culinary, of the African diaspora, of what this represents to me of past and present. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show. And thank you for coming out tonight.